Hello, cancer fans. So we haven't made a video in quite a while. It's been pretty stressful around here. Got surgery coming up in 2 days. My birthday was Monday. My birthday was the 7th anyways, February 7th. So now I'm 54 years old. I think that's way too young to die. So I want to thank everybody who's sent us gifts to our P.O. box. I got this awesome Detroit Lions sweater here. And we also got a Detroit Lions shirt. I actually gave the Detroit Lions shirt to my son Liam because it's a little bit too small for me. Actually, it's not too small for some people because some people like their clothes a little bit tight. I like loose clothes. I'm very self-conscious. If I wear tight shirts, I feel awkward and everything. So I like the extra large shirts, I guess, instead of large. So anyways, thank you for the all the cards and everything. Deanna's got a checklist of states that we've received cards from, and thank you for all of the good wishes and everything. I want to remind everybody that if you like this video, hit the like button. If you really like this button, hit the subscribe button. If you really, really, really like this video, donate to our GoFundMe page, or share our GoFundMe page, or share a link to our YouTube channel. So what's been going on lately? I'm getting surgery on the 11th. It's very scary. I've never had surgery before. I've also had this, my cancer doctor, what is it called? Honey, what's a cancer doctor called again? Oncologist. So my oncologist is the one that prescribes my pain meds. And we called, we went online and, we called them on the phone and left a message on their answering machine, because they have a button. You push like button number 5 and it takes you to the prescription refill page. So we left a message there. That was 11 or 12 days ago. And then 4 or 5 days after that, we called them, and because they told us, call a couple days before you run out. So that's what we did. We called a couple days before we ran out. And then after I'd been run out for about 3 days, because it was right over the weekend, we called again and talked to a person this time. We didn't hit the button number 5, but we hit the button number 0 and talked to the operator, the girls that work up front, and told them that we hadn't received my prescription yet, and could they please tell the doctor to, call in the prescription or whatever. So it's now been 11 days and no prescription still. And the thing is that the pain I can handle with acetaminophen. So I'm taking 2 500 milligram acetaminophens 3 times a day, and that's 3,000. And on the container it says that you can't take more than 4,000 milligrams per day. And I'm also taking the Pure Lax to keep myself regular, or whatever, to make sure that everything keeps flowing through me good. I don't get bloated or anything like that. So it really sucks when that happens. All kinds of weird stuff happens, like colitis and stuff like that. My folliculitis, that's the hair follicles or whatever that are so thin that they don't break the skin, or something like that. Those are all gone now. So it's been about 6 weeks since I had my last chemo. Another thing with the chemo doctor is we told him, he's been giving us zero information, zero help. When I first went to see him the first time, I said, hey, can you tell me about a diet, or give us any pointers on how to survive this whole thing? He had zero. He said everybody's different. He doesn't want to tell me something that could come around and, I guess, sue him or something like that later on. And so he gave us zero information. He didn't have a doctor to recommend for us for the surgeries. We had to find our own doctors. The prescriptions that he's supposed to be refilling, we haven't gotten him to refill a prescription unless we actually go in there and see him face to face. Apparently he wants to get paid or something to fill out our prescriptions. I really don't know what the deal is over there, but we're not going to go see him anymore. Once we get this surgery done on the 11th, which is Today is Wednesday, and the 11th is on Friday. So it's 2 more days before my surgery, and the surgery takes place at 7 a.m. We have to show up at 5 a.m. to the hospital. Got two doctors that we're really confident in. We actually went through a lot of trouble to find two good doctors that worked together before and that know each other and that recommended each other and liked each other and all that stuff. So they communicate with each other. Basically, when we went to see the colon doctor, he just kind of took over. He immediately told us we didn't want to use the liver surgeon that we had lined up, which we didn't even have a choice in picking him. That was the one that our insurance company gave us, and he wasn't even really a liver surgeon. He was just a general surgeon. And he said, nope, that's not going to work. For one thing, the liver surgeon doesn't do, the surgeon that we had didn't do surgery at the hospital that he does surgery at. So we would have had to have two separate surgeries, which is ridiculous. So he got us a surgeon that takes our insurance, that he got everything scheduled, all of the tests, all of the everything. He just took over right away instantly, and the next day everything was handled. It was just it was just waiting after that. He said that you have to wait 4 weeks after your last chemo before you can get a surgery. That's recommended or whatever. So that's what we did. So in 11 days, it'll be about 4 weeks, a little over 4 weeks. So surgery is very scary. Never had surgery before. My biggest fear is that I will die and that I will never see my son or my wife again. You know, it really makes you question everything, beliefs and God and everything. What makes people believe that we're any different than mice and rats and squirrels and chickens? And, is there a chicken heaven? Does all chickens go to heaven? If they do, then there's about 79 billion chickens in heaven every year. So, it's scary. I've never been a super religious person. So the thought that there's not life after death doesn't scare me a ton. What does scare me is that I might never see my kid again. I just I want more time with my wife and with my son. Now I have a new son, Ethan. I want to spend time with him, and I'm not ready to go. And I always wonder, when they say, this is the survival rate, and this is, people can die from blah, blah, blah. Are those people like me? Are those people that want to live, or are those people that don't want to live? I'm sure that everybody says they want to live, but maybe they really don't. The people that don't survive, I really don't know. I just hope that my wanting to live helps. It makes me feel like I have some control over the whole thing. But yeah, the surgery thing scares the hell out of me. Like I said, makes me question everything. And another thing is, we're going to be moving to, hopefully in about seven months, provided that I live through the surgery, which, everybody says, oh, don't worry about it. These guys do surgeries all the time and you're going to live. I am worried about the surgery. I'm worried that they're going to put me to sleep and I'm never going to wake up. And of course, I don't want to tell my 10-year-old, hey, I'm going to go in for surgery, but this might be the last time that I ever see you. I could die. You don't say that, but it's so hard to, it's so hard to know that in my head. And when he's so casual about the whole thing, and I feel like, he's 10, he doesn't understand. And I'm probably glad that he's not stressing as much as I am and worrying about it like I am. So anyways, there's that. I definitely do not want to leave my son. If there's no life after death. And I'm one of those people that, I don't believe in magic. I don't believe in ghosts because I've never seen one. I've never seen any magic. I've never seen any ghosts. I've never seen anything that is not just normal, so it's hard for me to believe in something so spectacular when there's really no proof. There's no proof. And people have always said, well, not always said, but some people have said to me, that's the kind of attitude that sends people to hell. If you don't believe in God and you don't believe in Jesus, then you go to hell. I don't believe that. I believe that I'm a good person. I love my son. I love my wife. I'm nice to everybody. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I never murdered anybody. I don't drink. I don't smoke, even though I did used to smoke and I have drank a lot in my past, but I'm a good guy. I'm a good person. And if there is a God, then this is the way that God made me. He made me to be skeptical and to question and to whatever. So if God's plan for me is to just not believe and have questions, and not that I don't believe, I'm not a one of those people that don't believe. I'm the person that believes that it could be. My parents were never big on religion. We didn't talk about God. We didn't talk about religion and life after death and all that stuff. Never. So I kind of just grew up forming my own opinions. We didn't go to church. Just wasn't a big part of my life. And, I listened to songs like Dust in the Wind and, songs like that. And it makes you question everything, are we just sand on a beach, just another meaningless life? I mean, look at, God or not, in 100 years, no one's going to remember my name. No one's going to know anything that I did or that I even existed, which I don't care. Who cares about that? I just want to be here for my son and my wife. I want to be able to enjoy more of my life, especially now that I don't smoke and I don't drink and I don't do any of that stuff anymore. Now I feel like I can enjoy my life. And hopefully that's what's going to carry me through. One of the big things is that people that get surgery, they remove the cancer and everything. And then within, I think it was like 48 months or 46 months or something like that, cancer comes back. And so that's scary. A lot of people, I guess 46, 46 months is the survival expectancy, or the normal life expectancy. I'm not sure what the statistics are on this one. Deanna's looked it all up and she's told me and everything, but I don't know. I remembered them before, but I don't remember them now. But I tell you what, so one of the big problems that I'm having right now is my numbness in my feet and my hands. So this is where my doctor comes in. This is what really makes me angry about my doctor, right? He said, oh yeah, I'll take over, because I was my primary physician. If anybody has been following, we had a problem with my primary physician. And the problem was that marijuana is legal in Arizona, where I live. In my past, when I was much younger, I smoked pot all the time. From the time I woke up to the time I went to bed, I was stoned. When I moved away from Michigan, I stopped. When I lived in Las Vegas, I probably smoked pot a half a dozen times in 7 years. I moved to Phoenix, and I had a lot of friends that smoked pot, and I started smoking pot again. But then I quit. Well, I didn't quit, but I stopped buying it. I didn't ever have any, so I didn't smoke it very often. And then sometimes if my friends had it and they would offer me some, I wasn't in the mood or whatever, because when you don't smoke it all the time, you get really buzzed, especially the stuff that they have nowadays. The stuff that we had back when we were kids is nothing compared to the stuff they have now. I mean, you can put yourself in a coma probably from the stuff they have now. It's too potent for me. So anyways, I had this little pen. And when I quit smoking, I would get these urges to smoke, and I would hit off that pen. It's a little marijuana pen thing. So I would hit that pen, and it would help me with smoking. I don't need it anymore, so I don't do it anymore. But my old primary physician made me do a pee test when we went there. And then a week later or whatever, they called me and said, it was just a big, huge, crazy thing, because the girl that I talked to on the phone was like the secretary or something, or his assistant. It wasn't because I'd never seen the doctor. I'd never seen the primary physician. What we saw was his assistant, a nurse, and she was the one that was prescribing all the medications and everything. I even told her that I hit that that pen like once every few days or whatever. Just if I was getting a big bad urge to smoke, I would hit that, and then it would go away. And it was never a big issue. But then all of a sudden, they called me and said, you're not going to be able to get any of your pain medication for 3 months because you tested positive for marijuana. And I said, well, that would have been great if someone would have told us that I couldn't smoke it when we were on, when I was on these pain meds, or else I could get them removed. And she said, well, I'll tell you what, in 3 months, you can call your doctor and talk to him about it. And, at that point, that's when I was really in a lot of pain. I had tried to stop taking pain meds because I didn't like taking all that medication and stuff, and especially the heavy duty pain meds, even though I found out that they're not heavy duty. They're very lightweight dosages compared to some of the other people that take them. But anyways, I was in a lot of pain, so I needed the pain meds. And so waiting 3 months was not an option. So we got a different primary physician. Where was I even going with this story? I don't even remember.
Hi.
Hi.
Look what came.
Oh, my pre-surgery insurers. Well, that's good.
Hi, everyone. Russell's pre-surgery insurers came. You could tell them.
Those insurers are so nasty. I don't know about these ones.
They told us to buy them, and they told us to get them at the hospital pharmacy. And we went there, and they were out of them, and they said they're not going to be able to get any in time. So I had to order them from Walmart, but they had them, so that was good.
These ones are strawberry flavored. That's different. That might be good.
I know, and they're clear. They're not milk-based.
Yeah, the milk-based ones are the ones that I've been drinking. We have a chocolate flavor and a vanilla flavor, and they're terrible. So anyways, my story, where I was going with the story is that, so we got rid of my primary physician, got a new primary physician, but instead of going to see him and getting him to prescribe my pain meds and going through that whole process, we just went to my oncologist and told him what had happened, and he said, oh, no problem. I'll prescribe your pain meds for you. So that's why he's prescribing the pain meds instead of my primary physician. And he's not doing it. He's not prescribing them. We haven't had any, and now it's kind of to the point where it's not even any point in getting them now, because that's only 2 days before my surgery, and I'm sure after my surgery I may probably be getting some heavy duty pain meds. Just a bad oncologist. We're getting rid of him. He's just been worthless and no help, and just I think that it's just the same with every other occupation. You get some people who really love their job and they just dig into it and they care about their customers and they care about their patients or whatever, and they just do everything that they can to be the best that they can be or whatever, or at least good. They take pride in this guy is not one of those guys. I probably have given out his name. Deanna tells me not to give out names, so I'm not going to tell you what his name is right now anyways, but we're going to get rid of him, and there's a little red dot on the phone, but we're going to get rid of him, and I'm going to try to go to my primary physician and have him prescribe future pain medications. So yeah, scary stuff. It's hard. So the whole problem with the pain meds is that the nerve damage from the chemo. So my feet are numb and tingling. My hands are numb and tingling. My ears are, it's not even worth talking about my ears and stuff, but the problem is that it's not just my hands and my feet, it's kind of my whole body. So when I was taking my pain meds, I never noticed it. It wasn't affecting me. But when I had to go off of the pain meds, it feels like my skin is crawling. And it's not from withdrawals, because withdrawals don't go on for, what are we on, 11 days now? I wouldn't still be having withdrawals. So I Googled, I kind of stumbled across the answer. I Googled how long it takes for the numbness and stuff from the chemo to go away from my hands and my feet. And that's when I saw the thing that was talking about the rest of my body. What happens is that it's not just nerve damage in my hands and feet, obviously. It doesn't just select your hands and feet to cause nerve damage, it's all over. So when I wear clothes to bed, like a t-shirt and pajama bottoms or whatever, and socks, and because it's cold and my feet are numb and they feel cold, even though they're not cold, they just feel cold, because when I put a heating pad on them, it makes no difference. They can be scalding hot in hot water, and it makes no difference. And you know what's crazy? I cut my nails, my toenails, and my fingernails last night, getting ready for surgery, and I felt absolutely nothing. I couldn't feel anything. No pressure, no nothing. It's scary to cut your nails with no feeling. But anyways, so that's another thing with the doctor, with my cancer doctor, is that he should have been prescribing those pain meds, because now I'm getting shit for sleep. I can't fall asleep because my skin feels like it's crawling and it's itchy and it's tingly. And unless I strip down to almost no clothes at night and go to bed with no blanket or anything, then I get these weird itchy, tingly spots, and I can't fall asleep. So what happens is I lay in bed for 4 hours till I finally fall asleep from exhaustion. And then if I wake up for some reason, which I do every night, I wake up 3 or 4 times. So if I go to bed I'll go to bed at 10 o'clock. I fall asleep at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I wake up again at 3, and then I can't fall asleep for an hour. And then I wake up at 4:30 or 5:30, and then I can't fall asleep for an hour. And then I wake up at 7:30 or 8, and I'm freaking tired. Um, yeah, it's just not cool. That guy is, he's not getting any more of our insurance work, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to find another oncologist as this surgery is all done with. I'm not going back to him ever. He's been no help. He's been no good information. And everybody says, you got to take care of yourself. You have to be your own advocate. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to go back to that guy. We've complained about him a lot of times. If you've watched our videos, just over all of the things that that he hasn't been any help with, and that whole place has been crap. I think it just is one of those places like McDonald's. When I was a kid, I went to McDonald's, and there was 6 of us, and we'd order, 6 meals with, my brother didn't like salt on his fries, and my mom wanted no ketchup, and and one of us went on no onions, and they didn't mess up any orders. We would get our order complete, perfect, with 6 people. Now I go there with my son or my wife. We try to get some fries and a Coke, and they end up with onion rings or something. There's just incapable of doing anything that requires any kind of skill or competence. And I don't mean to bash McDonald's, but McDonald's, the last time we went there, is pretty much every time we've gone there for the last 2 years, they've screwed up our order. So McDonald's makes me very angry, and they're a perfect example of just something that used to be good and just isn't anymore, just because that's just the way that society is anymore. The people don't get trained like they used to, because the people that are training them don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and they don't want it. They want everybody to like them, and that's just the way that the life is now. And I think he is a perfect example of a doctor version of McDonald's. He is just worthless, and overpriced. And you go to McDonald's, you used to be able to take your whole family there for $20. Now you can't even take 2 people there for $20. It's expensive, McDonald's, and it's not that fast. It's faster than going to Denny's, but it's certainly not as good as Denny's, especially when we went there a couple years ago, and I got a Big Mac. There was 2 of us, and we were driving somewhere, and we stopped at McDonald's on the highway, on one of the off ramps or whatever, and I got an extra Big Mac extra value meal. I can't remember what my wife got, and so we pulled away from there, got back on the highway, opened up the bag, and there was only 1 fry. When we got 2 extra value meals, and then believe this or not, my Big Mac had 0 hamburger patties. What do you, that's McDonald's. That's McDonald's nowadays. And every McDonald's that I go to, they mess up my order. Doesn't matter. We don't get fries, or we get a small fry, or instead of getting a Big Mac, we get a chicken sandwich, or, it's just ridiculous. It's just incompetence. And I think that's just the way our society's becoming. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being grumpy because I'm about ready to go and get surgery, and I'm scared. But yeah, I'm scared, and it sucks, and I don't want to get surgery, but I have to. So I guess that's it for my video for this one. If yeah, that's pretty much it for my video. I'm going into the hospital on Friday morning at 5 a.m. The surgery is scheduled for 7. It should take about 6 hours or 7 hours for the surgery. Hopefully there's no complications and I live through it. Then there should be, I think they said that 8 days is the, or eight days to, it was like 8 days to like 36 days or something like that. It was a long, big discrepancy between the minimum or the normal and the maximum amount of days that people usually spend at the hospital after this type of surgery. The liver surgery is the big one, I guess. But yeah, it could be 8 days. It could be 3 weeks. So hopefully it'll be 8 days and I'll be out of the hospital at home. We can give you an update. Deanna's will probably film a video from the hospital just to let everybody know if I live. If I don't live, then we probably won't film a video from the hospital. But if I live, we'll probably do a video from the hospital. Oh yeah, so I also started thinking about what am I going to do, because after all this time, it's been 7 months. 7 months since I worked. We did a lot of stuff with YouTube and eBay and just a lot of odd stuff to make money. And the GoFundMe thing definitely has been a huge thing for us. And also my landlord is actually a friend of ours, so he is definitely the housing market in Phoenix, the prices have gone skyrocketing. We definitely couldn't afford this house if we were to try to rent it right now. But we got in here with a much lower rent than what he can get for the place. So every month that we spend here, that adds a little bit of guilt to us. We certainly don't want to take advantage of a friend of ours. So we want to try to get out of here as quick as we can. We're looking at about 7 months before we move to our new house, or to our new land that we bought. That hopefully we'll have enough money with YouTube and with all the other stuff that we're doing. But anyways, what I was trying to say, what I was getting around to, is I don't want to go back to doing construction. I'm not even sure, especially with the numbness in my feet and my hands, I'm not sure that I'd be able to be that great at it anymore. Especially the maintenance side of it. I was making really good money doing maintenance, and it just, that's just stupidity in my part. It's funny because there's been times in my life when I was able to save a lot of money, and then I would go through things like I had an internet web design company that I started, and it took off, did really awesome, and then Google and Yahoo and Dogpile and all these other search engines decided that I was not breaking their terms of service, but I was breaking their the spirit of their terms of service. So I wasn't actually breaking any rules that they had, but I was basically not doing things right, and so they blackmailed me from that. So I lost a bunch of money on that at the end. Well, I didn't lose any money. I ended up making money, but I ended up wasting it all because I just felt like it was never ending, and it did end. And then I worked in Vegas. I was a foreman at a concrete construction company. Really awesome job, except I was working 7 days a week, 12 to 16 hours a day, sometimes more than that. And I would have to, especially with Vegas traffic, especially where I was living out of Vegas. I was living in Boulder City, and if I would drive to Boulder City, or if I would drive to work from Boulder City, I had to stop at the yard to pick up forms and stuff like that, and then I would have to drive to the job. And with the traffic in Vegas, it was like a 2-hour commute to the job by the time I was to the job. So if I would work 12 hours, you'd add 2 hours driving there and 2 hours driving home, or an hour and a half driving home, or whatever. And it never fails. That the drivers in Vegas are the worst drivers in the world. I think, you have 2 cars on the road at 6 o'clock or at 3 o'clock in the morning, and somehow those 2 cars crash into each other, and then it's a big issue with highway and it's backed up, and I can't tell you how many hours and hours and hours I just sat in traffic at a dead stop in Vegas. And that was horrible. I hated it there. So anyways, yeah, I made all that money, and then I ended up spending it on, I just wasted it. So I've had really good jobs, but I've been stupid with my money. I haven't put any money away. I was a chain smoker for a long time where I would smoke 2 packs a day, probably average, sometimes 3, sometimes less. But I would smoke a lot of cigarettes. And then I was also drinking a lot of energy drinks. So once you figure in rent, groceries, all the stuff that I had to do for my son and all that stuff, and plus cigarettes and energy drinks, doesn't leave very much money for savings. And then any money that I did have left over, we always tried to do fun stuff. Like we did a lot of fishing and camping and just buying toys and just having fun. And so, yeah, I was pretty irresponsible. Didn't save up very much money. So when this cancer thing hit, I thought that we had enough money saved, but we didn't. I was not planning on it. I was thinking that it was going to be like 30 days or a couple months. And we're going on 7 months, over 7 months now since I was diagnosed, since I quit working. So yeah. So anyways, so when I get done with this surgery, get done with my healing and everything, um, I could go back to my old job, which I'll probably end up having to do. But I would really, really like to just do YouTube. We're gonna be doing the tiny house thing, and we're gonna have goats in the farm, and um, there's other things that we can do. I want to try to find something else where I don't have to go back to that, because that's not fun, and it just takes so much time away from my family. I was working 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, usually more than 10 hours a day. By the time, including drive time and everything, it was probably 12 hours a day. Um, so it doesn't leave very much family time. And I really, after all this, I want family time. I want more family time. So I want to figure out some way to work from home. I want to try to figure out a way to do YouTube videos. And so, and I know that once I have the surgery, provided I live through all of this and it doesn't spread and whatever, once the cancer is gone, then there will be no more cancer videos, right? Then we're going to switch to something else. Though I want to try to find a different subject, because I don't think anybody's going to want to hear an update on me when I haven't had cancer for 2 years, but we have got a ton of friends, and I don't know how many friends we'll keep once the cancer's gone. But it would be nice if we had still a lot of our friends, a lot of you guys out there that we consider friends now. It would be nice if we still had those after the cancer was all gone. And so anyways, we're going to be doing tiny house videos, like tiny farm videos, living off the grid videos. And we're also, I would love to, of course, provided we have enough money to do these things, but we want to also travel. I have family in Michigan that I haven't seen in years and years and years. We're talking like 20 years. I don't think I've seen my sister. I haven't seen my sister or my brother since my dad died. No, I haven't seen my sister since my dad died. I saw my brother when they got married. I saw him when my mom died. After my mom died. So yeah, and that was quite a while ago. That was before my son was born. So it's been at least 10 or 12 years. But my dad died about 14 or 15 years ago. My mom died about 12 years ago. And yeah, I haven't seen my family since then. So I'd really love to go to Michigan and have my son meet his cousins and aunts and uncles. And I also have a brother that lives in Nevada that my son has never met, who has kids that he would love to play with. So yeah, that's the plan. I don't want to go back to doing construction. I don't want to go back to doing maintenance. For one thing, my truck doesn't run anymore. I've been trying to get it up and running, but it's I don't know what the hell's wrong with it now. It just won't stay running. Since I took it to that stupid Toyota dealership, just hasn't been the same. It won't stay running. Yeah, and it still makes the thumping noise up front when we do get it running, do get it on the road. It's thumping up front. So we're getting rid of the truck. We're gonna actually donate the truck to somewhere, probably Children's Cancer Fund. So we're gonna donate the truck. And the Jeep, I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee that my landlord gave me. Like I told you, he's a friend of ours, and the front axle came unhooked from the front whatever. The drive shaft came unhooked and hit the ground when he was driving, so it jacked up the front. So he didn't want to deal with it. He just went and got a new vehicle. It was pretty old, and I think he was just done tinkering around with it and messing around with it, and so he gave that to us. And so I removed that front drive shaft, and it drives around good, but it has tons of electrical issues. The battery doesn't want to stay charged, and I've tried unplugging everything that I could find, every light and every sensor and everything, and also the doors don't lock and the windows don't go up and down, but everything else works good except for the radio. The radio doesn't work either, but I don't care. But anyways, my point was, the Jeep is great. The Jeep Cherokee is great, but it's not great for carrying ladders and stuff like that around. So, yeah, so I'm kind of facing a lot of weird things in my life right now. It's probably adding to the weirdness that's happening in my house right now. I know I've been kind of a jerk, just feeling sorry for myself one day and feeling angry at the world the next day, and then just the surgery and everything's very stressful, and then just thinking of the after surgery, because once you get done with the surgery and once you're cancer free, then I don't need food stamps anymore, and I don't need any help from the government anymore. So then I'll have to find an occupation. I know that I could still go back to my old maintenance job, but like I said, I don't want to. I want to try to get this YouTube channel thing growing, and the tiny house, the farm, that kind of stuff. I want to try to do that stuff. And we're moving to a plot of land, 4.5 acres, that has nothing on it. So everything that we put on there, and every fence and everything, we have to do ourselves. So it's going to be a lot of fun doing it. And I think I have tons and tons of experience in a lot of different construction areas. So I think we'll be able to make quite a bit of videos. And Deanna has just a ton of interest in all of the animals, the goats and the donkeys and the turkeys and the rabbits and the chickens, and she just loves animals. She is a huge animal lover. She's a vegetarian or a vegan, and she just loves the thought of living off the grid, not paying the electric bills and not paying the water bills. And even though we will have a water bill, because it costs a small fortune to dig a well in Arizona. For one thing, it has to be about 9,000 feet deep. Actually, I think I saw a thing that where we were going, where the wells were like 100 feet. But the guy that we talked to said that it was like 750 feet. So a 750-foot well would cost an insane amount of money to have them, have someone come in and drill a well for you. So we're probably not going to be getting that kind of water. We're probably going to have our water delivered. And we've watched a lot of videos with people who use eaves troughs, and they catch all the rainwater that they can off of all of the roofs of the buildings that they have. So we'd be doing that also. But all of that stuff costs money. We have to do everything slowly. All the tanks for water cost money. All of the fence material costs money. All of the animals cost money. All of the food costs money. Everything costs money. The water we'd have to have delivered. Everything costs money. So we're hoping that we can get a good following going on our other things, and I'll probably have to figure out a way to get the truck running, and then go back to maintenance for a while until we get ready to move. That way we'll have some money stockpiled. But there's also, there's other occupations out there. Not everybody works construction, and even though that's what I've been doing my whole life, I'm sure I can do other stuff. So I know that a lot of people do YouTube. Thousands of people do YouTube, and that is something that I want to try to do. We're kind of digging in to all the possibilities right now. actually, Deanna doesn't want to do that. She is planning all of the stuff that we're going to do when we move to our new spot, and that's when we're going to start doing the tiny house videos and the farming videos and the goat videos and the how-to videos and the just the daily stuff that we do on our living off the grid. But I want to find something else. I want to find something that I can do right now. So that's where I'm at. I love stop motion. I've been trying to do a bunch of stop motion stuff. I've actually done quite a few stop motion things. I've been using. It was supposed to be me and Liam, but Liam's just about worthless. He doesn't want to do it ever. I have to about force him. Actually, once we start doing it, he always has fun and we always get into it, but it takes some doing to get him to get involved. So that's what I want to do. I want to do Lego videos, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's really not. I mean, I've seen videos on there, these little short Lego videos that people make, and some of them have like 2.9 million views. So I want to start doing Lego videos, but I want to do the short little Lego videos. I want to do like a series, like a TV series or whatever, and I have some ideas. So anyone that wants to ask me, hey, we want to send you something in here, PO box. Nobody's going to do this, and don't worry about it. I'm not asking anyone to do this, but if you do, Legos, need Legos, lots of Legos. That's it. I'm going to start doing Lego videos. We're going to do this thing, provided that I live through my surgery, where we, how in some of our videos, Deanna and I are sitting on the couch in the living room. Well, I made a little couch and coffee table and everything with our two little Lego action figures. And I was going to make a video of us talking and stuff, but only I was going to use Legos. So that's kind of a fun thing. But that's not part of my series that I'm going to do. The series is a totally different thing. It's going to be really cool. I'll post links to it once we get it going. And I do have other videos right now, but it's mostly just like I have a YouTube channel for my Lego stop motion stuff. But basically right now it's just like the title of one of mine is first time making a Lego walking video. It's just like a guy walking, a little Lego guy looks like he's walking. And then there's another one where he was rappelling down some books and stuff with a rope, where I try to do that, and it looks really stupid. Doesn't look anything like. I mean, it looks a little bit like he's moving, like it's like he's alive and rappelling down the books, but not that much. So I learn with every time I do the videos, and I have some pretty good ideas for the series that I want to start doing, but it takes a lot of time to do them. And Legos are freaking expensive. I don't know if anybody's priced out Legos lately, but you can buy them, or I can buy them on eBay and stuff like that for pretty cheap, by the pound and stuff like that. But I haven't bought any yet. Liam has a ton of Legos. About 5 or 6 years ago at Christmas, I found I don't even know how many pounds of Legos it was. It was a lot of Legos. This guy was selling. His kids were growing out of them, and he had been buying them Star Wars Legos and all kinds of Legos for years. And they do the same thing that Liam does. They take their Lego things apart. Like, say Liam has a Lego X-Wing. Well, he will have that Lego X-Wing for a couple days, and then he just starts to take it apart. And then next thing you know, the Lego X-Wing is in 1,000 pieces, and it's mixed in with all the other Legos, and then it's just gone. It is what it is. So that's what they did too. So I had a big giant tub full of, actually it was 2 tubs full of Legos. The problem is that they're all like Star Wars Legos. There's no like buildings, and not buildings, but there's no like doors and windows and and Legos that look like bricks and stuff like that. There's like Legos that look like the wing of a X-Wing, or Legos that look like a turbine engine, or there's just no regular Legos. So a little bit hard to do the Lego thing right now, but eventually I will have doors and windows and stuff like that, and I'll be able to make little buildings and stuff like that. And then I will start posting stuff, and hopefully And like I said, I see these little videos, and I've seen Lego things that have millions of views. So I know that people are out there viewing the Lego things, and I think and a lot of them are like Lego man gets killed by a bomb, and then it shows a little video, and it's cool, it's really good, well done. It'll show like a Lego guy standing there and a little bomb next to it, and then the Lego guy will look at the camera, and then boom, blows up, and the guy goes flying, and then pieces of him fly apart, stuff like that. And they get like tons of views. So I'm thinking maybe if I make longer videos with like a series, like a TV show, that I'll get lots of views. So we'll see. Yeah, so that's my goal. I want to do Lego videos. I think it's going to be fun, stop motion stuff. We actually started on a different kind of stop motion that's more like South Park, where we used construction paper to cut out some characters, and now we are using those to make a little stop motion skit. We're not finished with it, and in fact, we don't even have all the characters cut out and everything yet. So we're working on that. Anyways, this video is getting kind of outrageous, so I'll leave it at that. Like I said, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button. If you really, really like the video and you like us and you want to watch more, it really helps us out if you share the video. We also have a GoFundMe page, and the link is in the description. And we have a P.O. box. So if you want, I got this awesome sweater. I also got a t-shirt, a nice t-shirt. We've just gotten letters. And it's really nice to hear from you guys and get letters. I mean, it is, I've never been a big letter guy. But the older that I get, the more that I appreciate them. And it is very just nice to know that people care. And it's just, it's very nice to get a letter in the mail. It's also fun for us to get up and go to the post office, to the P.O. box, and get mail out of the P.O. box. It's kind of fun. I don't know. So yeah, we get, and we're trying to get letters from every state. So if I'm sure on the next video, we'll hopefully have a list of all the states that we already have letters from. Not that we don't want duplicate state letters, but that just is just to say that if you're watching this video and you live in a state that we don't have a letter from yet, it would be awesome if you sent us a video or a letter so we can check that state off of the list. So anyways, I hope everybody likes my video. I hope I haven't offended too many people. I hope it hasn't seemed like I'm begging too many people. That's it. So wish me luck. 2 days I'll be going under the knife. They're removing part of my liver, part of my colon. Should be hopefully around 8 days in the hospital. Could be longer. So hopefully we'll get that done. Sorry, I'm having some hiccup issues right now. So wish me luck. I'm going to be going into the hospital in a couple days. I'm getting ready to go pick up my son, spend the next 24 hours or so with him, or the next day and a half with him before I have to go in and get the surgery. I want to spend a little bit of extra time with him, and I'll be keeping you posted with my Lego videos, with our Lego videos. And like I said, if you want to send me something, and you want to know what I want Legos, Lego figures, Lego bricks. That's it. And anything is appreciated, but Legos I love. So anyways, thank you for watching me, and I hope to see you again very soon.